Hello and welcome to a wet and windy and wild Sydney Harbour for the second heat of the 2022 JJ Giltinan Championship for the 18-foot skiffs. A big contrast to yesterday's lovely nor'easter on the harbour. Today we've got plenty of winds. There's going to be plenty of thrills and plenty of spills, but a little bit more of that later. I'm Peter Shipway and a very good afternoon to you, and along with Andrew Buckland and Jimmy Bury and our team on the camera cat. And from Sail Media, we'll be bringing this to you this afternoon, and I think we're in for a very exciting race day. Without further ado, I'll bring in Andrew Buckland, fresh from last night's Mardi Gras, to give us an overview of the weather. Andrew.
Thanks, Peter.
You're lost for words, Andrew. What's happening?
I'm just going to, make some facts clear here. I was safely at home in bed by 10, do you mind? Yeah, Pete, thanks. So, folks, the low-pressure cell off the mid-north coast of New South Wales. We're on the other side of the trough from yesterday. Pretty solid south-southwest gradient wind, 15 to 25 knots with rain squalls. Ebb tide, smoothish water, and there won't be too many spectator craft today, but we're looking forward to an absolute cracker.
Yes, already. Well, we've been out here for about 20 minutes or so at the starting area off Taronga Park Zoo, Athol Bight, and already we've seen some significant squalls come through, Andrew, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks as if that's pretty stable, and so front of the squalls might be up around the 25 knot mark, and the back of the squalls perhaps down to about 15. So that's the range.
Yes, well, as forecast, the southerly passed through Sydney about midnight last night, and brought with it rain, significant rain, as if we haven't had enough rain here in Sydney along the east coast, but there's more coming. We look across to Rose Bay, Double Bay, Rushcutters Bay. It's grey and gloomy, and you can see that in the backgrounds. We're looking at Yandu there, just coming down to the starting area. But to go through the course today, Jimmy Bury, good morning, or no, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Shippo. Yep, today we are on course number 4, which is the southerly course. There was some talk that they were going to do a safety course, but that isn't the case by the looks of it. So starting just down here, as you said, just in front of Taronga Park Zoo in Athol Bight, then we short work up to Clark Island, then the big long run down to Obelisk, which is the yellow mark
on your
map, and then nice work up to Shark Island where the blue mark is, and then the sheet hands nightmare from Shark Island down here to Athol Bight. Then we do that lap again and we finish up at Clark Island.
Yes, well, it's a race that has been a graveyard down at Obelisk over the years as we get down towards Middlehead in freshening conditions, but we'll see how that plays out today. It probably will not be any exception. There'll be plenty of action down there. But yesterday in the nor'easter in the first heat, we really saw a masterclass from the 7 times JJ Giltinan champion Sevi Jarvin at the helm of Andu and his crew of Matt Stenter and Sam Newton. They won by over 2 minutes in winning the first heat, and they really put a line in the sand of the standard that others will have to get to beat them in this championship. And I think they'd won the Australian champions previous to this regatta, and they are on everyone's favourite list, I think. And the other 2 boats that did well yesterday were Tech 2 and Smeg, and they're the other 2 boats that most people are fancying to finish in the top 3. But it's a long series. We've still got 8 races to go, and that's the finishing positions from yesterday. You can see Andu was first, Tech 2 second, Smeg third, then Harry Price in the Rag and Famish was 4th, and then 2 skiffs having their best performance of the year. Balmain Slake was 5th, Birkenhead Point Marina 6th, and they were the clear handicap winners yesterday. John Winning, the veteran, in 7th, Burrowang 8th, Shaw and Partners 9, Lazarus Capital 10, the Oak Double Bay, who got badly missed out at the start, 11th, Ilvay 12th, finished with a broken top of his mast. Black Swan from Western Australia was 13th, Finport Finance 14th, Black Knight, our friends from Germany, 15th, Fisher Paykel 16th, down to the Queenslanders at 17th, Noakes Youth 18, Kitchen Maker 19, Noakes Blue 20, 18-footer Bar and Restaurant 21, Appliances Online 22, Team Denmark 23, and Lazarus Capital Developments didn't finish, but 24th was Noakes Sailing. Now, even though they finished last, They impressed a lot of people, especially with their upwind speed. They had one capsize, they got right back into contention. And then what happened, Andrew? Please bring us up to date. I know a lot of people want to know what happened to Noakes because she was absolutely flying up that last work and got herself into 4th place. Over to you.
Well, they had a little crash pre-start which we didn't see, and that damaged a whisker wire on the pole. So at 1 minute to go, they were trying to tie the whisker wire back up. No mean feat. And then the tiller arm broke and as a result of some impact, I believe, from the helmsman having a little stumble perhaps in the tack. So they got to the finish with half a tiller arm only and no tiller extensions. So that was a good effort to get to the finish line at all, but obviously didn't do their series point score. That's their discard already.
He's got a bit of bark missing off his ear as well.
And poor old Sean, he's had operations on his knee. He's now got a plaster on his ear. And
he looked as though he'd been 15 rounds from Muhammad Ali in the park. He could hardly walk. His face all bandaged up, but full marks to him. He's out here again today. So all skiffs on their second rig, and we're at Athol, just waiting for the starting signals to be raised on the starting boat. And the breeze down a little bit at the moment, but it's coming in good puffs, and I think during this race there's going to be plenty of wind for everyone.
Enough to go around, Peter, we believe. Indeed.
Well, today's race sponsor is the Birkenhead Point Marina. They're out on the fine vessel JBW watching today, and they would have been very impressed by the performance of the Birkenhead yesterday. They did a mighty job. Tim Westwood, Will Dargaville and Alex Chitterton in finishing in 6th place. And today's race is in memory of Cliff Monkhouse, former JJ champion, which he won in 1964 on Sydney Harbour in one of his famous Tagara boats, a 4-time winner of the 18-footer club championship, and club president and a real driver of the 18-foot movement. And his grandson, Sam Monkhouse, is on board Fisher Paykel today, and normally sails 16-foot skiffs from the St George 16-foot skiff club, bearing the famous Tagara name. So Monkhouse and Tagara, a very important part of the history of 18-foot skiff sailing. So wonderful to have Cliffy's grandson out here today in these very, very blustery conditions. There's the team from Queensland. Didn't have the greatest day yesterday. C-Tech, Dave Hayter, Ben Roxburgh and Elliot Marr. And in the background's the JBW right in on Bradley's Head. That's the lovely motor vessel owned by John Winning's family, named after his late father, John Jocko Winning. There's the committee vessel, the Ripple side, just got the line laid, and they're the signals. 5 minutes to go in the second heat of the 2022 JJs. And Andrew, you've had a good look at the starting line. Where are we starting?
Well, Pete, I think we're going minimum tack theory today to some degree, and that would mean probably not trying to press your luck too hard, just making sure you got I would probably start at the committee boat and just make sure I had a lane.
Yes, well, yesterday we got away to a clean start as opposed to the invitation race on Friday where there were 2 general recalls and then black flags, and so they were relatively well behaved yesterday. But today's another day, and the boat to beat will be Andu, where everyone's thinking after yesterday's sterling performance. But it's a day that things can go wrong, and a long series, as we keep telling you. 8 more races to go, and there's the 4 minutes. Hooter.
Yeah, the dynamics of the long run, 3 and a bit miles, about 3.3 miles down from the top mark to Obelisk, considerable, and it's a VMG run, so they'll spend a fair bit of time on both jibes. Sea state, head sea coming in through the heads makes the last 500 yards more difficult than the previous few thousand yards, and
it's about a 2 metre swell running through there this morning when we came around.
Yep.
Just to put the icing on the cake, as it were.
That's right.
So we've got 3 minutes 20 seconds to go, and we're fleet are all well back in this strong breeze. What's its strength now? 20 there, Andrew, do you think? Perhaps?
Yeah, close to.
Yeah.
Close to, certainly.
And a grey Sydney.
So this is just the front of another little rain squall.
Okay, there's an early capsize. Have we got an identification on that? I think it's the Queensland Sea-Tech, is it?
No, it's Noakes. Noakes over here.
Oh, there's a couple.
Sorry, Pete.
There's
Yeah.
a couple.
There's a couple.
There's a couple. Anyway, there's Finport, Keegan York, Bryce Edwards and Phil Marshall. There's our friends from Germany with a smaller sail on and not that colourful insignia. Rag and Famish, fourth yesterday. Fisher Paykel with Sam Monkhouse on board. So you can see how fresh it is. You would think hopefully they'll be well behaved, the fleet, but who knows. 2:25 to go.
Well, and the fleet very conservative, as you would expect.
Yeah, this will be a day for just keeping your powder dry, no pushing the boundaries, nice and conservative sailing.
If there's any such thing as a conservative 25 knot puff downwind at an 18-footer, Pete.
Oh, pull out the jib perhaps. 2 minutes to go.
We left the whisker pole ashore, Peter.
Okay, that's Taronga Park Zoo Wharf that you can see in the background. The famous Australian or Sydney Zoo. And here's the fleet with 1:45 to go. That mark is the, sorry, Andrew, that's the mark that they'll round when they come back from Shark Island. So that's not part of the starting mark at all, that you can see there. They're just, fleet just stacking up to windward with 1.5 to go.
Yep, and the fleet being extremely cautious, and rightly so.
No one down at that pin end. There's one boat, a couple down there, but
Balmain Slate were the only boat that was going to get down there.
He got the pin yesterday, and he did well. He was first to Bradley's and led around the first mark.
No, a masterful first beat from the young fellas. Yeah. It was terrific.
Another young team that did very well yesterday.
But they just bit the dust over on the left-hand side there, Pete.
Oh, they've just capsized, have they? Oh.
1 minute.
Oh, the Germans are in the capsized position. Got 1 minute. There's Lazarus way down to leeward. There's the Black Swan hammering down the line. Everyone's up at the windward end here except Fisher Paykel, who's halfway down the line. And, oh yes, everyone likes this committee boat end with 35 seconds to go.
Well, some of the boys are sheeted on already. Tech 2 coming from behind the pack a bit. Andu, both of them kind of in the middle.
That's Noakes, furthest down near the pin. And we've got 20 seconds to go. Oh. Lazarus Partners almost into windward at the committee boat. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. What have we got? We're away. Are we clean?
I don't think so.
No.
Individual.
Whoa. Lazarus looked very well advanced. Good start by Yandu. John Winnie up at the committee boat. He got a ripper. Smeg in the middle. Andu in the middle. And away on starboard. Heading into a rain squall and heading into plenty of wind. Lazarus is going to come back.
Perilous manoeuvre.
Boom just broke here on...
the broken boom, yes, on our friends from Denmark.
The Denmark boat.
Oh, dear. Their day is over.
The bloody Vikings, Peter. Correct name, please.
Yeah. The bloody Vikings.
Bad luck, fellas.
Yep. Oh.
That last bit of vang on, eh? Oh, this is going to be bad.
And Lazarus was over. He's come back.
The individual flag's still up.
Still up, so there might be someone. No, it's coming down. Okay, it's just come down. So Lazarus was the only boat over. The rest of the fleet are clean, all on starboard, except the Rag and Famish, who's well behind at the moment. He's taking all their sterns. And looks Andu. He stepped out nicely in the middle. Smeg handily placed, as in Shore and Partners. There's the Royal Oak up to windward.
Yeah, Shore and Partners probably leads, Pete, I think.
Now that's Noakes Youth, the red hull. And they're all going away. The leaders on starboard. Going in towards Double Bay.
Breeze just bent left on the face of this next rain squall.
Okay, that Smeg looks strong. There's Smeg to the right. That's Noakes Youth, the red hull there. And ahead of him is Shore and Partners. Okay, Shaw and Partners, as you said, Andrew, he looks the best at the moment. But they're all screaming away on starboard tack. Shaw and Partners, below him is Andu. And then down a bit further, Noak Sailing is down there.
Wow, big squall coming.
This is the leading group.
There's a little lull, and then in about another minute, they'll be in the face of this next rain squall.
Plenty-on.com, right?
But already you can just see Andu. He's got the pedal down. He's absolutely flying. Yesterday's first heat winner. 7-time champion. Smeg
Anyway.
looking good, strong up to windward as well, as in Shaw and Partners.
So they're now in the strongest bit of wind there on the face of the squall.
Have a look at what's coming out of Double Bay, Bucko.
Yeah,
The amount of pressure.
I've got it.
There's rain, there's wind, it's grey, it's miserable, but we're away. And Smeg looks good too, strong. Just trying to come round the bow of Shaw and Partners. Andu's coming back. Okay, he's going to take a couple of sterns. As they're approaching this first weather mark up in Double Bay, just to the east of Clark Island. There's the racecourse covered in rain. There's another rain squall that's coming right up. You can't see any of the houses in Double Bay. There's Shark Island. These pictures are making it look quite clear, but boy, I can tell you out on the harbour, visibility is minimal. It is pelting down here at Clark Island where we are. Smeg just tacking. Noakes have done a good job too.
Yeah, no, Noakes has come out of the left there, and they look pretty strong.
Andu was one of the first of the leading group to go right. It's interesting to see how they come back on starboard.
Well, the problem for them, Pete, is can they go far enough to lay the top here?
Well, they will soon see. He's tacked to come back and converge with this group. And it is absolutely pouring. Okay, you're all the fleet, the group, leading group coming back on port.
So,
And what
yeah,
we'll
I
see-
just got a message off Longy Shippo. They're all good to race.
All
All
good?
clear.
Okay, so Lazarus came back. He was the only one over. There's Smeg. We'll see Andu in a moment.
Shaw and Partners just
Oh.
not on screen. They just almost capsized in backwards.
Andu will lead. That's him there, coming left of screen.
Yeah, Andrew will lead from Smeg at the top here.
Shaw and Partners, as Jimmy said, almost in backwards. Andu, are they on the lay line? Pretty close, but yes, they will lay.
They're laying.
And there's going to be the good kamikaze run down to Obelisk. His boats are capsizing everywhere. Balmain Slake's just capsized off screen.
Can't even see
Oh, there's-
Obelisk from here at the moment. Shippo.
I hope they know where it is. There's the Black Swan from West Australia doing well, but here we go. Yesterday's winner, leading the fleet, Andu, Sevi Jarvan. Straight into a hoist. Okay, second around. Oh, there's good squall here. Will be Michael Coxon, defending champion in Smeg. He's around. Sean Langman, battered and bruised, around on the outside of the Western Australians.
Black
in
Swan.
Black Swan, skippered by Luke Parkinson. Then Shaw and Partners. Tech 2. Oh, there's a stack up. The Queenslanders. Ooh, Wooshka.
C-Tech.
C-Tech. Down they went.
That's a good eat.
Bow down as Yandu gets around on a tight lay. As we said, there was going to be plenty of thrills, and there's still more to come. And spills. The Royal Oak will be next. Outside them is the Fisher Paykel. And they are going to be screaming downwind. Ron Yandu, he just can't get away. There he goes, gets the bow down now, and we're off. And the skiffs are off. Let me tell you, they are absolutely flying. It's a VMG run, some are on starboard. Andu's already on port jibe. There's Tech 2 just jibing. Just cannot see anything ahead. You can just see it's a complete whiteout with this rain tumbling down.
We're travelling with the mighty Black Swan from the semi-desert state of Western Australia.
Black Swan, Luke Parkinson standing in for Grant Rollison, Cam McDonald and Luke Payne doing a fine job.
Close cross there with Noakes and Smeg.
Yeah, so Noakes ahead of Smeg. Looking behind them. Just to tell them we don't have a drone, we have the drone up. And we're bringing these shots on the water. It's just too wet and wild to get the drone up for the moment. We've seen some magnificent drone shots yesterday and throughout the year, but at the moment you have to understand the conditions are just absolutely abysmal out here with this rain, and the drone is staying dry aboard the camera cat. But anyway, there's Noakes jibing.
So now the breeze perhaps a little softer on the back of the squall, but the breeze also now southwest, Peter, here where we are.
With this rain, yes. So it's gone right. So most boats are getting down majority of the way on port jibe. Boy, look at this rain, fellas.
Okay, I've found Andu. That's half my battle.
Okay, there's Sean Langman, Ed Powers, Josh Promeski doing a great job. Hello to Ed's father, Dave, in lovely England. These are English conditions here, Dave. You'd enjoy this.
It's too warm, Peter. Water temperature.
Yes, it's too warm, actually.
Water temperature is 23, mate.
There's the gloomy Sydney skyline. I really can't describe what it's like out here.
I can't see where we're going.
Ah, well.
It's half the problem.
You concentrate, Jimmy. You're in it. We're in your hands.
We're all back to them.
Boy, is that... As if we needed more rain. Well,
Jimmy, you said you found Andu. Where are they? Is that them there?
that's them here.
Okay. Oh, right, okay, yeah, got him.
So,
Can I go this?
there's Noakes and Noakes Blue. The two Noakes boats. There's Bradley's head in the background. And we're trying to find some other boats. Literally 50 metres is our range. There's the leader, Andu. We can just make him out on starboard jibe.
And to give the viewers an idea, we're less than 200 metres away from Andu, and that's what our A-grade camera can give us through the rain.
There's a lighthouse up here somewhere, isn't there, Shippo?
I think so.
A white one?
Well, I hope he's got his GPS working
There,
on
got it.
Andu. He'll need it to get to find the Obelisk Mar. So, concentrating on Andu at the moment. He's significantly in the lead, but there's a chasing pack which made up of Tech 2, Smeg, and Noakes. But anyway, all eyes are on the race leader. Gee, this is disastrous for those flood victims inland of Sydney that are really copying. I assume this weather's getting in there, which is the last thing they need.
There he goes.
There goes the jibe.
It's a bit ugly, but it survived.
I'd say that's nice ugly. Can it be nice and ugly?
All right, Pete, okay.
I think that's a pretty good job. Just see in the distance Obelisk Bay.
Wow, and the breeze, more rotation and more pressure coming here, Pete.
Okay, that's the long range shot. We're doing our best here.
And we're into the head sea now.
Believe me, it is
And
very,
not,
very
not
bad.
too far off the port jibe ley line into the bottom mark here.
We've got a ferry bound for Manly. Hope you can see these skiffs. Looks like Shaw and Partners is
Yeah,
got
Shaw and
himself in the
Partners is
second spot.
Wriggle their
behind.
way to second, exactly.
We'll keep on Andu. So he is approaching the turning mark here at Obelisk. He's done, as expected, a very, very skillful job.
So we're parallel with Andu at 25 knots on the camera cat.
There you go. Look at that. That is perfection.
And they're in the head sea, which has come through the headland around South Head and bent in here. Big sea state outside.
Nothing behind him.
Boy, oh boy. The marks down there somewhere.
Where is the mark, shipper? Here, got
There
it.
we go. Jimmy's found it. Great bit of navigation. So we'll stay in this leeward mark, I guess, for a little while to see the order as they come round. Just dropping now on Andu.
Oh, so we nearly got a two-sail jibe, Pete. Are you up for it?
I'm ready. It's my weather now. Okay, Sam Newton wrestling the spinnaker down. Going to get the drone up now, kid.
Wow, tough manoeuvre this one. Bumpy
There's
water.
the mark. They've just gone round. Here they go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wind her up. Sheet
Well
on.
done, boys.
Right, he dropped the main sheet anyway. All good.
Don't try that at home, though, kids.
No. Not to be recommended, but
Just got Shore and Partners right behind us.
okay. Well, Shore and Partners, they've come down pretty well. Oh boy. Oh, there's going to be some great stuff coming down here in this squall. Shore and Partners will be round. Tech 2 screaming in. The breeze up here now, 25 knots. Here goes Shore and Partners round and down.
That was
round
why
and down.
that rounding method wasn't recommended,
No,
Peter.
Tech 2's next. Can he survive here? It is really fresh. Tech 2, is he going to granny perhaps?
Just watch him, Jones.
I think he might be going to granny. Is he? No. Dial up. Yep, got it done. Okay, Noakes jibe behind him. He got it done as well. So Shore and Partners gone from second to capsize. Tech 2 goes into second. Noakes will be third. I don't know what's happened to Smeg. We've lost him, haven't we? Yep. He must have perished. Oh, this is a really good squall here, Andrew.
Yep.
Here's Royal Oak. Trying to get
And the breeze a long way right, too.
fresh, windy, plenty of swell, plenty of white caps, plenty of chop. There's the West Australians in the Black Swan. Oh, what are they doing?
And they've run out of wind.
You can see it, the swell coming in as the Royal Oak.
The swell's picked up from when we came around earlier. There you go.
The Royal Oak will be next. So he'll be fifth, just inside of Shore and Partners, who are trying to get the boat up. Okay. Next will be Black Swan's in all sorts of trouble. There's next to round will be Yandu if he can jibe. It's going to be a tricky manoeuvre here for John Winning.
Pete, it's very windy right at the mark there at the moment.
Sure is. It sure is. What's Yandu going to do?
I think Woody or Granny.
Yes. I think Noakes Youth there got going. Is that Fisher Paykel? Yes.
Yeah.
Jordan Curtis. Okay. Black Swan from West Australia there on the right tack, but they're above the mark.
Can't get the bow down.
Rag and Famish, bit wobbly. There's Finport there. Oh,
The Black Swan got the bow down.
he's just going to get round. Yes, you're right. Yandu did Granny in the background. Trying to back the jib. Here comes Rag and Famish around. This is survival of the fittest here, boys. Yandu can't get down. Rag and Famish are around inside the Black Swan. They're just
He'll be
starting
coming
to go.
in hot.
Oh, here's Jono Whitty.
Oh, those marks, they
top
don't
of the
hurt.
mark.
They hurt a
That is
lot.
solid metal he's powered into. Oh, hope he's okay.
There's 2 rescue boats down there for
Okay,
them.
never. Oh, Yandu's struggling. Finport's struggling. This is a graveyard down here. We say it every time in this breeze, but we're on the wind in a.
I think we're
There's
all
the
right.
80-foot skiff, bar and restaurant. But these 2 boats look comfortable. Noakes Youth done a good job.
Yep.
Team of Tom Cunnage, Flint Sprout, Harry Smith.
So it's Smeg over there, just
Yep.
about to come into shot now. And must have a real early swim up the top.
So for the viewers in the background here, we've got Smeg about to come in shot to windward of Fisher and Paykel,
There he is.
running downhill.
Wow,
So
he must have come to grief on that run. We've got another boat here, capsized off screen, so Smeg's got the job to do in front of him here.
I think that one in the tide in front of us is the
Sea-Tech, is it?
Black Knight,
Oh, the Black Knight, okay.
I think.
Germans. Oh, it's still raining. There's more to come. Look at Rose Bay. You cannot see it.
we're in a
I'm
bit of
assuming that's where Rose Bay is.
yeah, it's close enough, Pete.
Yeah. It's Balmain Slake in the background with the orange spinnaker. They perished at the start line. Here, the team on Noakes Youth. You can see the swell on Sound Pigs where we're fast approaching. There's the Sound Pigs boys.
The Cardinals on the mighty Black Swan.
Yeah.
All good.
And the breeze is down a little here.
Yeah. So effectively now, Pete, on the back of the score, breeze
Yeah.
back down to about 18.
18, yeah.
Yeah, and or a bit less.
There's our German friends, we believe. They perish going downwind. Noakes Youth going upwind. That's the Western Cardinal Market, the famous Sound Pigs Reef. And we believe Andu is leading, but who knows? We cannot see much other than the boats we're very close to. That's the Royal Oak. And just in front of them and slightly to leeward is Tech 2. They were second. So, yeah, it's third. There's probably Tech 2's second. Royal Oak probably third. Down to leeward is Noakes sailing off screen. So the Royal Oak boys have done well. But up ahead, wow. If that is Andu where we can see, he has opened up again. He is a massive leader halfway up this beat to Shark Island. Here's the Royal Oak. They look pretty comfortable, Andrew.
Yeah, pretty skilled bunch of boys and enough experience on board. And they're a bit disappointed with what happened yesterday. So, in general, they've been pretty good up range, not so good in the big sail stuff.
There's Fisher Michael. They're going in towards George's Head. Just leaving Obelisk Bay, and then next bay will be Chowder Bay or Clifton Gardens. We're back on the Royal Oak. Aaron Everett, John Cooley and Charlie Gundy. The young crew.
So, just on the face of number score, so the breeze back up again above 20 where we are. We're just chasing up to the stern of Noakes. We're in about fourth, Pete.
Well, we think it's Noakes.
Yeah.
We're on C-Tech at Tech 2 at the moment.
Yeah, on screen Tech 2, indeed.
Second yesterday and second at the moment. And Andu, a very handy lead. And across Chowder Bay, Clifton Gardens. It's a long beat this up into Shark Island.
Yeah, just about 2 miles exactly from Obelisk, Pete.
It'll be pretty tired, boys, tonight.
And a good ebb tide, so it's sort of a...
Okay, well, here's Noakes
bit longer.
sailing. And Tech 2.
And Andu in the background there, Pete.
And the 3, and there's Andu, correct. So these will be 1, 2 and 3, although Royal Oak, I don't know what happened to him. Anyway, we'll get back to that a bit later.
He's gone the other side of the ferry, I think.
Okay.
Pete. Yeah.
All right, we'll concentrate now on Sean Langman and his crew. There's the Sailing Australia mark in Chowder Bay, or one of them, the southernmost one. Just getting ready to tack, I would think.
And he's seeking refuge from the current and a bit of flat water, and good job.
Yep.
Shawnee showing some signs of wanting to tack backwards like Johnny Winning.
Just in front of them, Tech 2. So these, I think they'll be second and third. Way ahead in, again, is Andu. Loving these conditions. A big, heavy crew on Andu.
Yeah, we did some
Soaking
homework
this up.
overnight in relation to the crew weight issue, and the heavyweights are indeed Andu, so they'll be enjoying this. Probably up around the 290 kilos, the 3 crewmen. And
Absolutely relishing this.
by contrast, in comparison, the Balmain Slate lucky to be 240.
Huge difference, isn't it?
Yep.
Boy, haven't we seen some rain today. If we haven't
Not
had
wrong.
enough over the last 10 days or so, but it's back again with a vengeance. Breeze in the south. And we're on Noakes, probably, 15, 16, 17 knots here.
Yeah, just a nice breeze now again. So,
Gee, it was fresh to frightening at the Lewin mark.
yep.
And again, Noakes is showing some good upwind speed.
Absolutely.
And, Andrew, we talk often about sail inversion of the mainsail, which is basically, it flaps a lot. See a lot, not at the, see a bit there on Noakes. Explain to us exactly what is happening there.
Well, Pete, I mean, it's, you know, the airflow over the rig is a fairly complex matter, but in essence, what's called the downwash off the jib flows over the leeward surface of the mainsail, and at a certain point, you know, a certain wind speed for each rig, the apparent wind, the boat has to be sailed a little higher in the puff, and the apparent wind angle narrows, and eventually the mainsail inverts as it turns inside out. Now, the desire is, of course, that the battens are stiff enough to prevent the inversion turning into a rippling effect across the sail. But what we were seeing yesterday sunrise, that wasn't the case. And in fact, there's some speculation to the effect that the mainsail on Andu was actually distorting a little in the puffs. A little bit too light for that 14, 15 knot stuff that we saw on the last beat yesterday. So, you know, you can make the batten stiffer and reduce that problem, but it's only effective, obviously, at the very top of the range. Lower drag, stiffer battens, but then the sail has to get heavier to accommodate those.
Okay.
I'm confused.
So
Pete.
if I was a layman having a cup of coffee and a glass of red wine,
Yes.
and I said, what did he actually say? What? How would you answer that?
The blokes in England they'll be hitting the liquor cabinet at 2:30 in the morning over
When the
there.
breeze gets up, there's a lot more return on the jib that returns into the mainsail. Would that be
And so,
roughly it?
yeah, so we,
Okay.
you know, we talked to the boys about it, and you know, the way the self-tacking jibs work, the control of the jib twist isn't perfect. So there's a bit of compromise in how the jib's sheeted, and you know, back in the old days before self-tacking jibs, you could twist the jib more, and so extend the range before the sail inverted.
Okay, but all right, well, we're on Tech 2 and Noakes. We've seen Noakes put in another good upwind performance here, Andrew. He's closed right up on Tech 2. And he's just off Steel Point going into Rose Bay. And
He's certainly not lacking speed.
we just look back at Nielsen Park. I think there's surfers at Nielsen Park, Jimmy, isn't there? I think there's a good
think there
swell
was,
rolling
yeah.
in there, yep. So there's a harbour beach with surfboard riders on it. So that gives you some idea of the swell and conditions that we've had in Sydney. But there's 1 and 2 at the moment. Andu, he leads by a good minute and a half, I think, Andrew, wouldn't he? Going into
It's probably only a minute, Pete.
Okay, we've got the drone up, which is the good news. There's Tech 2 tacks, and Andu is tacked in the distance. The drone is doing its work.
And Tech 2 looked like they didn't like the look of the reduced pressure on the right edge up here, Pete. You want to stay in the wind.
Gee, that Noakes is motoring, absolutely motoring. He's just going to go. He probably might even have to duck Tech 2. Oh no, Tech 2's clear, but he's really throwing the game at Tech 2. But Andu's a long way ahead now. Oh, there's a good minute, Andrew. This lead for sure.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Breeze is further left than I thought it was up the top here.
See the streaks of the wind coming out of Rose Bay. There's Andu. Very, very good control at the moment. This big heavyweight crew in weight and in ability. Just tacking now then on the ley line, come into this Shark Island mark.
Yeah, you'd assume what he thinks is the Port Tack low line.
And now the exciting run down to Robertson Point. It's Rose Bay in the background, another rain squall coming down. And they're an easy lay here.
Yeah, he's got the jib cracked already.
Yeah, just ease a bit more. Sam Newton in the bow. That's Denter on the sheet. Sevi at the helm. Boy, these guys are showing how it's done. They're about 3 or 4 boat lengths from the mark. Throwing the jib at it now. There's the mark. Famous totem pole in the background. Shark Island. And then the big reach to Bradley's. What are you going to do, Andrew? Shoot or no shoot? I don't think it'll be a shoot for a while, will it?
No, I don't think so. You'd sail for a while. Have a look.
He's got plenty up his sleeve. We got a time on this, Andrew?
See where the bow goes. Yep.
Oh.
A little bit of wind shadow under Point Piper. He's off now in the face of one. And another rain squall coming from the city, Peter. So he'll almost certainly get down there without a shoot.
This could nearly be 2 minutes. Oh, this could nearly be 2 minute lead. There's the great drone shot. I hope you're enjoying this coverage we're bringing to you from Sail Media. Our camera guys and technicians doing a terrific job here in really tough conditions. So there's Tech 2 and Noakes, second and third. There's the rain squall that the fleet are going to run into on a Tech 2.
No, you're right, Pete. It's going to be nearly 2 minutes. That's amazing, isn't it?
It's incredible. It's just the speed upwind of Andu. Wow. Oh, Tech 2's short, so he's got to go back. He's extended a little bit on Noakes in that last part of this beat. Remembering Noakes had a disastrous day yesterday when the tiller broke, so he finished in 24th spot. So, as Andrew said earlier, he cannot afford another bad day, but at the moment he's on the podium in third position, because yesterday would be his drop, finishing 24th. So Tech 2 has tacked. He's still got about 20 seconds to come into the mark. How long now, Andrew?
That's 150.
Yeah. This is a massive lead. We can't even see Andu. He's disappeared into the distance.
Bradley's
Jimmy.
near enough.
No Spinnaker, has he? Or?
No.
No Spinnaker.
No, still two
sail reaching. Okay, here comes Tech 2. About 2 minutes adrift of Andu. Noakes sailing will be third. So really the battle now is for second. There's Tech 2 round the totem pole. Right on his hammer will come Noakes. There's a good squall. Shark Island Wharf. Oh, just getting a bit of a dunking the crew. Boy, you cannot see the harbour bridge. It's just obliterated by this rain. Just in the distance, just behind the ferry, you can see Andu just getting around Bradley's head. There's a good puff on Noakes sailing. And fourth place, wow, they are minutes and minutes behind.
I think fourth is Royal Oak, 4 Pines, looking back there.
Just run out of a bit of a gas, the Noakes. Just one puff and Tech 2's double their distance. Noakes didn't get it, they're just getting into it now. Wow, they've got plenty. There's Tech 2, Bradley's head in the background. Just see right at the end of Bradley's head, that's Andu. He's got round the point and he's heading down to the leeward mark. No Spinnaker. Gee, the fleet is spread up. Majority are spread out. Majority are still battling their way up into Rose Bay. A long, long way behind this leading group. Camera cat at 25 knots. We're just gaining ground on Tech 2. Just slightly leaving Noakes behind us. And we go right into the cockpit of Noakes. Oh, now we're on the Tech 2 boys. Jack McCartney at the helm.
Andu's around the bottom mark, Pete, off screen.
Oh, we can see them in the distance, yes, we can. Jack McCartney, Charlie White, Lewis Brake pushing hard, pushing very hard. They've got a massive job in front of them now. Last, the HMAS Sydney, famous warship, mounted on Bradley's Head. We saw it then in the background as it come up to it's Tech 2 around the obelisk there. So I know Spinny can reach or run.
So wind speed where we are with the leaders around about 18 knots, perhaps 20 in that range.
Just left of top of screen is Andu. Sponsored today, the Birkenhead Point Marina Group. The upper reaches of the harbour at Tremoyne. As Tech 2 goes down to the leeward mark, Andu goes upwind. Up back to Clark Island, Double Bay mark. Tech 2 getting down towards the leeward mark. Okay, come on down. Here we are with the race leaders. Oh, Tech 2 just gone round in plenty of wind. Back on Andu. It's a little short. They're out from the leeward mark and then back on starboard as quick as they can. Minimise the tacks, I think, now, Andrew, with this long, big lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it wouldn't have been wiser to go further on port so that you're laying as close as you could to the mark, but I don't think they'd be too concerned really, Pete. They'd just be focusing on their own little universe, you know.
Royal Oak Four Pines there, just off Bradley's Head, Pete,
Yeah.
there, 4th place.
Yeah, being very courteous, that water taxi, not. Another bloke joins the Kumquat Club. Taxi driver. There's the Royal Oak. They're in 4th spot, and but a fair way back from 3rd, but a solid 4th. Just go back up through the creek. And then we're seeing a lot of boats coming down now, none without spinning, because there's Lazarus. They'll be in 5th place.
So for a bloke that went back at the start, they've gone all right, haven't they, Pete?
Yes. It's Marcus Ashley Jones, Geronimo Harrison.
A source of brilliant entertainment value out of him all the time.
And Cam Gundy, well, he told me, I said, you give us a great thrill, Marcus. He said, wait till midweek when it's really fresh. If you want to see something, I'll show you something. So anyway, that's what he told me last night. Anyway, they're around Bradley's Head. That's the first obstacle navigated, and behind them, chasing hard, is Harry Price in the Rag and Famish. So we've got Royal Oak 4th, Lazarus 5th, Rag and Famish 6th. And then next will be a group led by
Noakes Youth,
Noakes Youth,
Fisher and Pykall.
Fisher and Pykall,
Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Black Swan. So they're tightly grouped, approaching Bradley's. And following them is the Smeg. Was that Smeg next?
Shore and Partners.
Shore and Partners. Wow, I don't know where Smeg is. And then behind Shore and Partners, way back is Yandu. There's still a lot of boats slogging their way upwind, nowhere near the turning mark. So Smeg, you'd think, is in that group. So her day looks probably well and truly over when they capsized. But
It looks unwell, Peter, I think you'd say.
yeah. There's a couple more coming out of the gloom. I think it's the Burrowang.
Yep.
Around. Is that Smeg to leeward?
That's what I think it is
Yeah,
there.
I think it is. He's around.
So there's Yandu scooting past.
There's John Winning and Do. Just approaching Bradley's. Then behind him we're coming around now to Burrawang. It's the Bradley's fairway boy. There's Burrawang, Simon Nern. And behind them is Smeg.
Good day to be working on your suntan there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wouldn't want to overheat, would you?
Certainly wouldn't be his problem.
And that is Smeg there, Shippo, just on screen.
Okay, well, he's probably, what, about 12th or so? Third yesterday. And the sky's clearing a little. It's still a solid rain, but nothing like we had half an hour ago. Oh, Tech 2, he's a Tech 2, and
Andu just round to the top.
And that's the lead. Spinnaker going up now on Andu. You can see the streaks of the breeze coming out of Double Bay, and that is still a big lead.
Yeah, I mean, Tech 2 made up a little bit of ground on the Tussauds Reach, but not enough to make any serious dent.
No. Okay, there's C-Tech, and in the background, Finport. They might be going home, I think, by their direction. Balmain Slate, and then on the left of them,
Appliances online.
Yeah,
they're having a good one.
Okay. So another big run down to Obelisk as they jibe. Probably be long on port and short on starboard, Andrew. Is that
yeah, well, he didn't like the look of the lee at Point Piper at all,
No.
but look at that.
So Andu keeps on keeping on. Tech 2 still not around the mark. He's going into Clark Isle. He's got one more tack and to come in. He's still about 30 seconds away from laying. He's a clear second. Noakes third. Royal Oak fourth. But it's all Andu here. He jibed again. Okay, so he's jibing on the shifts perhaps.
Well, he's just trying to maximise pressure and perhaps even to some degree the current as well, but really looking at for the strongest wind and the smoothest water.
Okay, they're the C-Tech, Queenslanders. Still going down towards the leeward mark, followed by Appliances Online.
So Pete, the margin to Tech 2 is still just about exactly 2 minutes. Unchanged up that beat.
Wow, look at that. We're in the cockpit and we're on the side. Fantastic shots.
Just seen up Shippo, just in behind Shark Island, you got the Black Knight, they're still going. Finport is, by all accounts, going home. And then just off Steel Point, we've got Noakes Blue and Birkenhead Point Marina. I think that rounds out everyone. Oh, Lazarus Development's just off the other side of Steel Point,
I'll tell
mate.
you who we've missed, Jimmy, is the Black Swan. Did we see her? I don't think we did we?
No, I haven't seen her, mate.
In the last little bit, indeed.
These are absolutely fabulous shots from the drone and from the camera cat. Clear and right with the action. So this is a bit of a dawdle in the park now for these boys. They're well ahead.
Don't speak too soon,
No,
Peter.
I won't, but I've got a lot of confidence in this team.
Yeah.
You can't comment, Bucko, that's who can't comment. Is Marcus back talking to you?
Yeah, he's fine.
After you hanging off his bow pole? Well, quite a bit different trip down the harbour this time.
Yes,
back down to Obelisk. We can
yeah.
actually see where we're going.
Yes. Almost clear. We're between two rain squalls now, so too bad.
We've got 18 upside down over just off the reef there near Bottle and Glass. Pete?
Yes.
White one, I can't make
Well,
out who it is.
There's Nielsen Park, and you can see some surfers trying to pick the waves behind that catamaran, one of the famous Sydney Harbour beaches. And there's the upturned skiff. There it is. Who might that be? Do we know?
A white hull, so...
Had a guess, Ilvey, Pete. Ilvey.
Yes,
Yes.
strong chance.
Strong chance, yep.
John O'Witty and his team. Okay, a number of jibes for Andu as he goes down towards George's Head in Clifton Gardens, jibing again.
Yeah, I mean, Andu here's in a little bit less wind, and Tech 2's coming with a little more pressure, but not enough to make any real difference, I don't think.
Well, he's gone right down on the long starboard jibe across the face of Nielsen Park, Tech 2. Well, Yandu's jibed down the middle more, probably protected the left a bit. There's Tech 2 now. Rose Bay is across it off Steel Point. There's Steel Point now. There's conditions a lot different to where we were here last time. A lot softer the breeze.
You can actually see where we're going.
And the wind speed down below 20, so around about 16 to 18 perhaps.
They're just on the front of one here.
Happy with that spinnaker, Andrew?
Sorry?
Are you happy with the spinnaker?
I can't tell from here.
Okay.
They have been working on it, I was informed.
One man in, all in, jibo.
The bird's eye view, how good is that?
So he's coming in on port jibe, so he's well short, so he'll jibe again on starboard, and so it's one and in now for him, you would think.
Yeah, a completed jibe, which is not a bad policy.
That's the Western Channel wedding cake, highlight on Sydney Harbour. And maybe Tech 2's closed up a bit, or still a long distance back. Time-wise, he may have closed up, but it's still a very comfortable lead. Getting ready to jibe, and the jibe they do. Lovely.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to push his luck here at all.
No.
A nice cross sea.
These great upwind speed. There's a long beat down at Shark Island.
But he's actually short, I think, Pete.
Is he short? Wow.
Maybe.
No, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. There's the kicker getting the pole back. Oh,
No, you're going to not jibe.
there they go. Going to drop.
Well, that's very conservative, isn't it? But he's got the lead to do it, so he can run square.
See the mark in a moment. There it is. That's Middle Head in the background for those that know Sydney Harbour.
Better get the jockey pole, the whisker pole out, Pete.
He's right, Sevy just buckling up.
And the big
A
dial up.
Bit of breeze here again. Sheet on. No problems, Your Honour.
Still fairly safe.
It's
That one.
breezy again here. It's funny, every time we get down here, the breeze seems to come up about 4 or 5 knots.
Yeah, we should. Tech 2 coming into the mark with a shoot up.
Yeah, I think he
Finished
will have
job.
closed a little. He certainly opened up on Noakes, Tech 2. Wow. Boy,
Yeah, I think Noakes must have had a bit of a bother of some kind.
somehow he's miles back again.
Yeah.
Still in clear third. Comes Tech 2.
Tech 2, full noise, ley line, beautiful.
Yeah, this will... In distance, he will have closed up here, I would think.
He's closed up quite a lot, actually, Pete. But we did say he was bringing new brews. But
Yes.
it's a bit the luck of the draw sometimes. That was tidy, Peter, wasn't it?
Very nice. There's the mark there, just left of screen, not rounded yet. You can see the white caps swell there on the harbour. There he goes.
So it's about, he gained about 40 seconds in the run.
Reasonably significant.
120 deficit.
Well, he'd be now about 3 minutes ahead of Noakes.
Yeah, I think Noakes might have had a trip to the riding lever, Peter, possibly.
Well, something's happened. He was
Yeah.
right up the exhaust pipe of Tech 2 before.
Yeah.
But there's Andu gone onto port. Camp Cove in the background. You can see, at least you can see things now. There's more rain coming.
Now, we'd expect that Tech 2 won't go the other side of Ender. They may, but these guys will be trying to read the effect of the next rain squall. Whether it's a bending the wind right or left. Ender pretty conservative.
Okay, so that's the white spinning at the right there.
Yeah, Noakes, yep.
Noakes. And behind him is the Royal Oak.
Now, the order hasn't changed, but the separations increased considerably.
Well, Noakes is a long way back from Tech 2
Yep.
in third spot.
Yep.
Royal Oak a solid fourth. Rag and Famish will be fifth. Lazarus will be after them, I think, and they're just all spread out. There's no one really close to each other, but interestingly, Tech 2 still on starboard, and Andu is tacked to cover. You can see them on starboard. It's a very loose cover. They're a long way advanced on it, but they're heading into, there's the Royal Oak. They're both heading in towards Sound Peaks, but the Royal Oak in a clear fourth.
Yeah, to some degree, Pete, the war of attrition might be over for a minute, is it?
Yeah, I think so. There's Tech 2 tax. There's Lazarus in fifth spot.
Six, perhaps, Pete. Behind, are they behind or in front of the rag?
No, they cross
so
behind.
six. So yeah, Rag's fifth.
Rag's fifth.
Lazarus fifth. Sixth.
And both those boats just out the back of a good score. Rag will be able to jibe back onto it. Probably Lazarus not so much.
The Rag was fourth yesterday, so he's holding down fifth at the moment.
Go to Lazarus.
Okay, there's the Rag going in on port jibe. He's got one and in to the mark. And behind him is Marcus Ashley Jones and his team on the Lazarus. Having a better day today. A little bit off the pace yesterday, and they finished 10th. Breeze is down again here, Andrew. What have we got? 15, 16 knots?
Less.
Yeah.
Less.
It's Shore and Partners. They're next after Lazarus.
So looking at the gap now, Pete, I think Tech 2 might be fancying their luck downrange.
Yeah, they've closed up quite a significant amount.
Well, fat's fast until it's not.
Yeah. That's the gap there. There's the leader, Andu, with Tech 2 in the foreground.
Andu's struggling to get three on the wire now. The back of this little squall and out the back of this next puff.
Pete, I just seen
Pretty
Black
soft.
Swan in the background, just in front of Yandu, mate.
Right, they're still up and
Yep.
going.
Oh, yeah, okay, with the grey chute.
Yeah, the grey chute is what throws you, right?
Camouflage.
no good to us in that first squall coming down.
Not at all.
I'm just hearing from our smart friends in Auckland, New Zealand. They say we should be over there. It's a beautiful day there. So we send a hello to all you guys over there, but we're here and you're there.
And we also better send a hello and a slightly belated happy birthday to our old mate Davey Witt up in Subic Bay. Hope you're listening, Dave. Hope you're well. And look forward to seeing you back in Sydney anytime soon. Your boys on the Tech 2 are making a fist of it, but they've got plenty of work to do.
That was Pete Montgomery's son, Johnny Montgomery, who's an avid watcher and listener of our show. So hello to you, Johnny. Hope you're enjoying it. And don't get sunburned over there, because you wouldn't here in Sydney. That's for sure. Okay. And
There's the Black Swan there.
There's our friends from the west, or the West Australian boat, Black Swan. Hanging in there. You can see the sky clearing up, looking up into Rose Bay.
So a little bit more pressure on this side of the track here, Pete. Just in general, and Tech 2 now probably getting towards some current relief also. Current going out at about probably a knot and a half in the deep water parts of the channels. Tech 2 would expect here will go all the way to the starboard tack ley line.
1 knot on the Mickey Mouse, it tells you.
Alleged 1 knot according to our technology. It's not insignificant, you know, the boats sail upwind at about 12 in this wind speed.
Well, we've got a bit of a race on our hands where this time in the last work, Andrew was way out ahead. Tech 2's
He's marching on him right now, Pete, isn't
coming
he?
quite quickly. Yep. There's Smeg and the Burrowang. Well, not a good day for Michael Coxon. He's probably got his drop in early, which he wouldn't want. Way in the background is Balmain Slake and Appliances Online. Tech 2's tacking. Man, the breeze is down. It's lucky to be 15 knots here. It's probably less.
Yeah. Yeah. In that puff there, it's probably 15, Pete, but outside of the puff, it's not. Still nice mid-range, really, for the rig, but a pale imitation of what was here half an hour ago. Yeah, a bit of a tricky problem, but Andrew tacking to cover Tech 2, as you might expect. And Burrowang Hotels is about to go through the cross in front of Tech 2 with a very large hole.
It's almost human size, isn't it?
Yeah. Give me a clue how that one got made, but maybe not.
There's the rescue boat. Just go across the front of them. That's the boys. Look at that. Terrific. I mean, really. There's a ferry coming down. Oh, it's all happening here.
Ferry taking avoiding action. Nice work.
And that white spinnaker is C-Tech, Pete.
Yes, those boys are hanging into the race, which is good. Yeah, breeze down here. Andrew, was 12, 13?
Yeah,
perhaps.
yeah, just 3 strings.
So what's the lead? About 30, 40 seconds, do you think? Maybe a bit more?
Yeah, a bit more than 40, but probably not 1 minute.
So the next run is going to be interesting, whether they go for spinnakers or not, because it's a lot less pressure than before, when it was just a main and jib reach.
I mean, looking at that, Pete, it'll be 2 sail again.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the breeze a bit in the right.
Just to give the sheet hands something to do, right?
That's right. Well, you know, we always say that the long courses do test the skills more widely than the windward lewards.
Both boats on starboard tack going in towards Steel Point at southern end of Nielsen Park. Darling Point way in the distance, Double Bay. Sky still gloomy, but no imminent rain.
It looks like they might get to the finish now, and the breeze we would expect would just slowly build back.
It's Tech 2 tax.
There's a spectator ferry.
Yeah.
Plenty of river around the can here, Pete. That's more than one knot, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's a couple of knots
just
there.
looking at the Nielsen Park
Looks like the Solent to me.
It does. And the tide was roaring out. Obviously, with all this fresh water aligned with the ebb tide, there's this massive flow in the harbour. The harbour very brown, as you'd expect. Interestingly, Handu's gone right into the point where there'd be massive flow coming around Rose Bay, but he's gone right in. He's behind Tech 2. Is he tacked yet? Wouldn't be far off it. No,
he's
still on starboard. Just tacking now, just to the left of screen, but there's Tech 2.
Tech 2 just pressing into a bit of slightly fresher right-hand pressure here.
The water relatively flat with the outgoing tide, wind and tide going roughly in the same direction.
Exactly.
And he's got good pressure here, Tech 2. Andy looks pretty strong coming off the point.
He's not going through the water. He's high, but he's not going through the water so fast, Pete. You're right, there's plenty of volume and flow around the corner there. But it looks like it might turn even a little further right looking upwind. The ferry's done a good job of covering them though, hasn't it?
Give the putters something to look at.
Yeah.
Full ferry today, and as it is, I think for all this week, it's very popular series, this JJ's.
And all the sponsors out on the JBW from Birkenhead Point Marina.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen them go round this time, have we? I don't think. The Birkenhead.
They're still going around, mate. I think that's them working up to the top mark in Clark Island for the run down to Oblis.
Okay, yeah, there's some notes.
So they're getting value for their advertising today.
Absolutely.
So
Money for mileage.
Pete, here's a bit more right-hand air off the face of the next cloud, I think.
So we need some accurate timing here for you, Andrew, at this next mark.
Give or take a minute, I'll get it to you.
Lovely super yacht, Ningaloo in the background. Just an anchor and
Sorry, and the breeze playing tricks on us here to bit the breeze. There's a view of the leader from on Tech 2.
It's quite quiet, the conditions. Now, what have we got? We're lucky to have 12 knots, wouldn't we?
Yeah, 12, 14 probably.
Yeah.
Just 3 strings. Rig a bit, run it up.
There's the view looking back the other way.
Yeah,
That's very good technology, isn't it, Jones?
Just looking behind us, Pete, 18-footer bar and restaurant, just on the Spinnaker run down to Oblis with the Black Knight just chasing up behind them.
Yeah, we can see
still
the blue Spinnaker there, yes.
And I think that's Birkenhead Point. He's just gone around the mark at Clark Island for that run. So
long day for those boys.
So, Pete, I don't know if you saw that Tech 2 bowman in, a bit more centreboard down, so they're looking for pressure.
Okay. Talk us through the theory there, Andrew.
Theory there says we have to maintain some weather helm and we want to maximise side force. Boat's going a little slower. Side force generated by the foils proportional to the square of the speed, so boat goes a knot slower, the side force goes down by about 10%.
So the bloke sitting at home having his red wine that doesn't understand sailing, what's that mean?
He needs a bit more foil area to generate the lift, like a plane at takeoff, perhaps.
Okay, perfect.
That's right.
I get you. Okay, Andrew tacks. He's pretty close to the ley line up there, I think. Not much breeze, there's a few little puffs coming down. He's
good little puff here.
There's the Tech 2 just going out of picture on right of screen.
But he gets a second, gets the ley line, and Andrew will give him a very good guide, and so Tech 2 can decide if he wants to be short or...
A bit more pressure coming here for both these boats.
Yeah.
So now is when they want to put the centreboard up, Pete, and there's a bit more pressure, so it's like...
Okay. Andrew's on a lay. Tech 2 any time, boys.
Yep.
Come on, boys. 3, 2, 1. Away we go.
And Pete, it's not like a keel boat though. A little overlay doesn't hurt because the boats go so much faster just for the bow down. The VMD doesn't change all that quickly at all.
Yeah, just slightly crack the jib, everything, happy days.
Yeah. So better the 2 boat length overstand and make sure you don't do 2 extra tacks.
Well, they're way over at the moment.
Yeah, easily. Well, the breeze turned left as they tacked.
Yeah. There's Andrew. We need an accurate time here, Andrew. Easy lay for them. Sheets are slightly eased.
And you'd say they're at the mark.
No, they're not there yet. Not there yet.
Now.
Okay.
Copy that.
Tech 2 smoking in with just cracked sheets. No movement on Andrew for Spinnaker. Still at full boys.
That'd be too sour.
Yes.
The whole leg.
Not too many people on Shark Island having a picnic today, that's for sure. Oh, great 2-shot there. This is an award-winning camera work here, boys. Fantastic.
And Shark Island looking a picture of green foliage, Pete.
You just keep watching that time, Andrew. I'll leave the agricultural side to us.
Did some fertiliser this morning, didn't you, Shibbo?
I did. Okay, here, get ready, bucko. 3, 2, 1, now.
55 seconds.
Okay, 55 seconds. Andrew streaks away. Tech 2's got to negotiate Shark Island Wharf, which he does.
And plenty of pressure and plenty of west in the southwesterly component, shall we say.
Yeah, this is the first weekend of autumn in the southern hemisphere. It's got that autumnal feel about it.
It was distinctly a cold front, wasn't it, overnight? It's
Wow, Tech 2 and Andrew are both off on a screamer. Certainly no Spinnakers at the moment. So they just go down to this Lewin mark and then the beach to the finish in Double Bay, Clark Island area. Andrew trying to make it 2 out of 2.
yeah. And the boat's reaching, and we're straight behind Tech 2 on the camera cat, but we're doing just a bit over 20 knots, keeping pace with Tech 2.
When this little puff hits me.
Puff and a bit of bump. Let's go.
Okay, Andrew navigating Bradley's head. Tech 2 a little higher. Racing today for the Cliff Monkhouse Memorial Trophy.
Fantastic. The sheet hand earning the money, Jimmy.
Days we live for, bucko.
Ah, correct, absolutely.
And get no reward.
Never even a thank you, mate.
No.
No. Oh, well. So both sails being adjusted. Big puff coming down for Tech 2.
Look what else might come into play if they get any more down pressure.
18 in the tide.
Well, look.
That's the Ilby in the tide.
Oh, Jono. Our mate. Poor old Jono.
So Tech 2 just enough faster than the ferry.
Setting the chute on Andu.
Yeah, Andu.
Oh, okay, they're going to set the chute. Wow, they must have been getting nervous. Tech 2 a lot higher, so they'll have to... If Andu is set, you think Tech 2's going to set. Can he get through across the front of the ferry?
No, he's across the ferry, Pete, I think.
Well, you'd hope so.
Big puff coming here. I don't think Tech 2 will have to set.
Not at the moment, no. He's got plenty of action. See, in the way in the distance, Andu dropping. There's Tech 2, there's the ferry.
Tech 2 going to hoist now.
Yeah. Advantage there, Andu, I think. I wish our friends in New Zealand would stop telling us what a lovely hot sunny day they've got.
Yeah.
Now Peter Montgomery's jumped on the chat. Lovely hot sunny day here in Auckland. yeah. Yeah. Go on.
Not the best set on Tech 2, but I...
Go and mow the lawns, Pete. Okay, meanwhile, back at the ranch.
All we can tell PJ is that this cold front is coming towards Auckland. At about 30 knots, no, not that fast.
Talking about cold fronts, there's more wind coming down the race course
where we are. Big bit of squirt coming.
It's going to be 18, 20 knots. As Andu rounds the mark, the last mark, the final beat to the finish, they're around. Andrew's got the clock running.
Tech 2 not far off a drop here.
Attack pretty quickly on the right-hander. You see Tech 2 dropping a spinnaker, top of screen.
Wow.
And wow, it's a long gap to third.
There is no third, Your Majesty.
No, there is not at the moment.
Big bit of wind here for Tech 2. But they've gained a bit, Pete. Not enough to make any real threat, I don't think, but Louis Brake working on just getting the chute away.
Just the final beat. Wow, this is really spiky here.
Yeah, solid as.
You want Lewis out there for the...
Oh! And it always hurts to dial up like that, but they're pretty tough boys. Job's done.
Yeah, well, almost.
Oh.
Gee, breeze is very much in the right here.
So, Pete, a little gain, perhaps, yeah? Yeah, they got attacked pretty promptly here, you'd think. Some inversion. So have another go at describing that, shall we, Pete?
The main flapping.
Yeah, I think the technical term is actually flappage.
Overhead on Andu, they're about halfway up this beat to the finish.
Pretty nice there, the head of the sail just lying stably in the onset flow.
There's third and fourth. Looks like Noakes sailing third, the Rags fourth. I don't know where the Royal Oak has gone.
Royal Oak is...
I see, they're fifth.
Just here.
Yes. They're not trying to get round Bradley's, but Noakes is around Bradley's. And the Rag and the Famish is about 50, 60 metres behind them. And then another 100 metres to the Royal Oak, who have dropped back into fifth spot. So Rag have overtaken them up that beat.
Good pressure coming in from the right edge.
Harry Price, Josh McKnight and Harry Hall. Consistent, fourth yesterday. So they'll be trying to hang into fourth or even get to third in this second heat. And that's right at the lighthouse on Bradley's Head is the Royal Oak.
Jimmy's going to put us on the beach here. We were inside the line of the
We're good.
Stone Quay.
No weddings at Bradley's Head today. Normally there's a wedding or three.
trying to give the Royal Oak a little bit of room in case they have to wheel down. Now we're out of here.
Okay, now we're out of here. We're going off to the finish, as is Andu. And the breeze settle down again before the next squall. Gee, this fleet is spread out. There's only one more boat around Shark Island. That's Marcus Ashley James and the Lazarus. There's no one else in sight.
No, a few dreams have come adrift today, Pete, haven't they? The graveyard of Obelisk has delivered pain again.
Well, that first run, I think, was a bit testing for everyone. Spec being one of the ones that capsized.
Yeah.
But these boys have done it again. Done it again. One tack around the mark, one more tack and in perhaps.
They'll cross the line on port, I think, Pete. They'll go to the low line, minimise their error possibilities.
Yeah. Good breeze coming out of Double Bay. So heat 2 almost over for Andu. Is this the final tack? Cheers, breeze. Good 18, 20 knots here where we are, just short of Andu.
Very short line he set today.
It certainly is.
Well, becomes a beat to the finish, Jimmy. If it's a run, he sets a long one. Give the boys a chance, you know, to... He can't actually cross the line on port, excuse me. Yeah, and Tech 2 maintaining their position but not improving, and no real passing lanes in that short beat.
Here's Andu. Going to take the gun for the second time. 2 out of 2 as they tack to come into the finish. And they are now really putting their stamp on this championship even after just 2 races. A faultless
Peter, be careful, be careful.
They're over. A faultless performance again by Sevi Jarvin, Matt Stenter and Sam Newton. 2 out of 2 ain't bad. So Andrew's got the clock running. So remembering the next heat will be on Tuesday, a lay day tomorrow. 1 race on Tuesday, then we're back in very strong forecasted conditions for really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where there's 2 races Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, lay day Friday, then we're back into it for a heat on Saturday and Sunday as Tech 2 approaching the finish. Another good performance. 2 seconds in this series.
Little tack in a bit of bad seaway.
Yeah, big bumpy there. Tech 2 coming across the line. What's the delta, Andrew?
We'll call it 1 minute, Pete.
Okay. All right, they'd be happy with that.
Well, they wouldn't be too happy that they sort of got left in the blocks a bit on the start, but perhaps that was just being conservative and doesn't particularly matter. They'd be encouraged by the fact that they were able to make up about a minute, partly by puff lull sequence, to be honest, but they did show very good speed upwind as soon as the breeze got down below 20 knots.
It was the second run to Bradley, to Obelisk, where they really made inroads into
Andu.
To Sevi and Andu boys, yeah. But Sevi always looked to have it pretty much under control, but Tech 2, 2 seconds. I mean, it'd be better with 2 wins, but anyway, that's a solid performance to start the regatta. I think most boats would be happy with 2 seconds.
I think the rest of the fleet, except for
Andu,
exactly. Right. And if you ask Sevi at this stage, said, would you be happy with 2 seconds? He'd say, not really, but yes.
Yeah.
That's the reality of a 9-race series.
We're watching Noakes sailing, trying to hold off the challenge of Rag and Famish for 3rd.
And Royal Oak.
And Royal Oak.
Yep.
That's the Noakes sailing there, Royal Oak in the background. So this is the battle for 3rd between the 2 hotels, Rag and Famish and Royal Oak, and Noakes sailing. At the moment,
3rd, 4th, 5th beat, perhaps.
yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that,
Well, they're battling for third. See who can win third. Who doesn't gets fourth, and then the loser gets fifth. And the sixth, well, Lazarus, I think, a long way back somewhere. But anyway, we'll concentrate on these boys. There's Noakes.
There's the Rag and Famish.
Rag.
Yeah, the Noakes looks pretty good though, doesn't it? Roaring along.
No rain at the moment, but I'm sure rain will be forecast and plenty of wind forecast for during the week. Trying to get aboard Noakes with our drone.
Not too far off the ley line actually, Pete. The breeze is hard right. Well, there he goes, bow down. Gee, he's sailing fast through the water though, isn't he?
Yeah,
Maybe,
he appears to be, but he's...
maybe not super high. What's going on there? Sean just walked to the back of the bus for a second.
The boat seems to be more stern down than most of the others.
No, they do sail a little further aft in this stuff. But he's sailing fast and low. He must be at lane, Pete. That's the
Yeah, to be that far back on the wing,
conclusion.
he's overstood it probably.
Yeah.
Talk too soon. Where's the Rag? The Rag will be coming in on port, but Sean and the boys will get third. So after the woes of yesterday, they're pretty happy to be on the podium.
Yeah, they'll be happy with that. And
Third, nice lay, and then good battle for fourth between the Royal Oak and the Rag. The Royal Oak have come right back into this. I think they've got a nice right hander. They're going to get fourth, I think.
Yep.
The Royal Oak, they're across.
you might be right. The Rag
Rag.
let them off the hook.
Yeah, they sure have.
Bit
Royal
unfor-
Oak 4. Good
bit un-
boys.
Bit unfortunate, but the breeze was turning right as we noticed.
And boys are happy there on
Yeah,
Royal
absolutely.
Oak. Pats all round.
Aaron Everett, John Cooley and Charlie Gundy, after a disappointing day yesterday, they'll be very pleased with their fourth performance as Harry Price in the Rag and Famish comes across in fifth. So he's had a fourth and a fifth to start the regatta.
So, Pete, just think back to a bit earlier in the race. Noakes was how far behind, you reckon, at the bottom mark? Behind the leader?
Oh, gee, I've got to go a fair way.
Jimmy?
No
Behind the
idea, mate.
leader.
I was trying to find the bottom mark and keep us alive down there, mate.
Because I tell you why, they've only been beaten by 3 minutes by Nandu.
Right. But the noose around Sean's neck is he's got to carry yesterday's race of 24.
Yeah, but just talking
So he-
about the underlying potential,
Yeah,
shall we surmise?
He can't have another wobble.
No.
And here comes Marcus Ashley Jones in the Lazarus in sixth spot.
But I mean, I think if we were instructing Sean and Tech 2, we'd say, look, just see if you can get near the lead at the first mark, you know. Neither boats...
Well, do you want me to talk to them tonight?
I think you should give them a severe talking.
We'll have a debrief with both of them. I'm sure they'd listen.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Would they listen to me, not you?
No, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, Marcus having a look around.
And Marcus might start the race on the right side of the start line one of these days, you think? You can put that in the little team talk as well. Yeah. I think so.
He's done well to come back to there
Yeah.
from being over.
Absolutely.
Cam Gundy and Geronimo Harrison.
Amazing. That's a huge effort.
Yeah, they were a long way. Well, had to go back at the start. They were the only boat that was recalled. Don't hit the finishing boat, Marcus, please. Yeah, it's probably reserved for our mate Jono.
They've armour plated the top sides, mate.
The Ilvy pulled out today.
Yep.
Yeah, we do love you, Jono.
The Ilve
Okay,
already nearly on the beach.
next is the Shoren partners, I think.
And
Steve
they-
Thomas, Lindsay Stead, Lockie Pryor.
And they fell off the podium and had a very long swim down in the worst possible place.
Oh, that's right. They swam at the leeward mark the first time, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was a good effort to get back. They were second, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
And it looked like a very punishing capsize as they go.
Well,
Hoover
they-
goes for Shoren partners. Gee, we're going to have a long wait for the next boat, which is Fisher Paykel, is it?
I think it might be Noakes Youth over here, and you've got Fisher Paykel.
Trying to get a big right hander. Gee, the breeze has gone a long time right, hasn't it?
Yeah. And
next range
Black Swan
in the city. Black Swan had some time on the riding lever, by the look of that.
Yeah, it's nearly a lay from that leeward mark into the finish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at Yandu, he's really high there. But anyway, here's Noakes Youth. They put in a good shift today.
Going to be fairly close here in the NP, Noakes Youth and Fisher and Paykel.
Yeah.
Because of the
right hand.
The said right hand shift, indeed.
So Noakes has got a tack to come in.
And these guys are crack sheets, Fisher and Paykel.
There you go. In.
Jib out.
Oh, it's going to be close here. Going to be close. Noakes Youth coming across on port. And I think they will do it. Oh,
they will just get there, I
think so. They'll quick tack on the mark. Oh, Fisher Paykel sprung sheets.
Yeah.
No.
Fisher and Paykel has to drive for the pin. The other guy.
Fisher Paykel's done it.
There you go. The other guy had to tack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. Jordan should have just aimed straight at that pin and just closed the door.
Hammer down at the other boat and at the mark.
Exactly. Noakes Youth 9th. It's their best performance for a long while.
And your old mate, Pete, who's 10th?
Yeah. John winning.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, someone else.
It's the Black Swan.
Black Swan's going to nip him.
Yeah. Black Swan's gone the wrong way to beat. They're still going to get 10th.
So Black Swan in 10th. Yandu will be 11th.
He could put the jib top up, Pete, where he's coming from.
Yes. Code 0.
No, not quite a 0. Too tight for a 0.
Oh, I'd get it up anyway, would he? Would. Okay, Black Swan across almost. 3, 2, 1.
That's not a bad effort for a glued together team.
Very good. I'll be happy with that.
None at all, Jits.
Here comes Yandu, sprung sheets.
Fantastic.
Okay, 11th for Yandu.
Probably a 12 for Smeg, I think.
Oh, it's 12, is it? Wow. Okay, yep.
To give the viewers a bit of an idea, there's still boats coming back up from down at Obelisk.
Yeah, they're nowhere near Shark Island.
Yeah.
Well, easy to have a 20-minute swim today, Jimmy, if you tipped over down the bottom there somewhere.
Yeah.
Very tough to get out.
So 12th is going to be Smeg.
And they'd be very disappointed with that. They must have had a very untidy episode.
So that'll give them a 3rd and a 12th, so we'd probably say this is their drop.
Sure, Baz will have some words of encouragement for them.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've seen a very exciting second heat of the JJs. As I said, we're not here tomorrow, but we'll be back on Tuesday from 2:30 Sydney time. Just recapping on today, as we watch Smeg cross in 12th spot. We've got Andu, the winner of the second heat, Tech 2 second, Noakes sailing 3rd, the Royal Oak 4th, Rag and Famish 5th, Lazarus Capital Partners 6th, Shore and Partners 7th, Fisher and Paykel 8th, Noakes Youth 9th, Black Swan 10th, Yandu 11th and Smeg 12th, which means that Andu has won the first 2 heats, but still 7 races to go. Plenty of breeze forecast for midweek, and we've got the single race on Tuesday, then on Wednesday and Thursday 2 more races. So terrific job by all our crew today, especially the camera boys, the tech crews. Very tough conditions the first part of the race, rain squalls and wind, and I think they did a fantastic job bringing the pictures to you. So to Chits, Piers, Dylan, Jordan, fantastic effort. Thank you, and we'll see you guys back on Tuesday. And to Jimmy and Andrew, thank you for your comments. As we say a farewell from a grey and gloomy Sydney Harbour, this is Peter Shipway seeing you back here on Tuesday.